So, good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us. I'm Karen Keegan. If there's anyone on the call who doesn't know me, from the Higher Education Office at the Department of Education. And, this week starts off College Application Month in Delaware. And I know all of you are just so busy running in 1,000 different directions. And I feel like we have so many good resources at our fingertips, but A, who has the time to figure them all out and look into them? And B, I know we have a number of new school counselors this year, whether they're new to school counseling or new to Delaware or new to their roles in different schools. So, and I've been trying to meet with them individually. So I was thinking, I was talking to Diana Frank from College Board and thought, you know what, Big Future is such a great resource that can help in so many ways with helping your students with their college searches and even scholarships and many other things that I wanted to just do a refresher. If you've been around for a while or if you're new, just put this out in front of you, to just help with your time management and what you can share with your students. So I feel like it's such a good resource. Every time I learn about it, I see something new that I didn't know that they had. So I'm going to turn this over to Diana Frank and Jacqueline Piazza, who are going to just walk us through some of the basics at Big Future. Hopefully you'll see something new that you didn't know that was there, but it's a ready-made resource for you. And if it can save you some time and can help support your students, that's a good thing, I think. So they're going to go through a quick presentation and then leave some time at the end for questions. But if you think of questions along the way, just put them in the chat. And then after about 30 minutes, you can either unmute or you can ask them in the chat. So we're totally going to have time for that. So Diana or Jacqueline, do you want to take over?
Hi, I'm Jacqueline Piazza. Many of you may not have seen me before. I recently started working in Delaware. Some of you may have received emails from me. I first want to thank you for being here today. We understand it is school day and PN or PSAT MSQT Eve, and a lot of you are preparing for tomorrow's administration. So thank you for taking the time today to really share these resources with us, or let us share the resources with you, I should say. And I am going to share my presentation with you. Here we have Big Future and the College Board Opportunity Scholarships. These are the two resources we're going to talk to you about today. As Karen mentioned, you guys are super busy and we really want to be sensitive to the time.
Jacqueline,
do you want to, yes?
We're not seeing your screen yet.
Hold on one second. Oh, it's connecting. Hold on one second. Sorry. Okay. All right, let me cancel and try again. Share. Okay, cancel. I'm going to try again.
We did just test this. And
we did. It'll come. Hold on one second. Okay, let's try it again.
Here it is.
Okay, there we go. More people want maybe a little bit of a delay from beginning. So now can you see my screen?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, perfect. So I did want to quickly go over the agenda for today. Diana Franks, many of you are familiar with Diana. She's worked in the district and with the state for many years. She is going to be help monitoring the chat today and also answering any additional questions that may come up in the discussion. Because of the fact, as Karen mentioned, like college application process is ongoing, we are going to highlight some resources that we have in regards to students eligible for that college application waiver. There are a few resources on Big Future that we're going to talk about. The Educational Resource Center, Finding the Right College, and Paying College 101. And when we look at the Big Future site, which I'm going to go to right here, and let's see. Okay, when you go to Big Future, this is the home page, and this is what you're going to see when you go into the home page. You're going to see this getting started, and we're going to go back into this later on in a few minutes, but I wanted to highlight where exactly these are. When I'm giving you links to everything, but so that when you go back, it's easier for you to navigate. the Education Resource Center is where we're finding a lot of the resources we're sharing with you today. The Finding Colleges is where you're going to do the search for college, and we're going to demo that as well. Exploring careers, we're not going to go into as much today. We think maybe that might be really a good fit for a future session. And then Paying Colleges. This Financial Aid 101 is one of the resources that Karen's going to share the deck with you afterwards, and there's links in there. And that's one of the links I'm providing you with. That Financial Aid 101 form actually provides you with resources that go from a student's high school career. So from freshman year, where to start, to their senior year. So that's one of my favorite resources to share. Okay. I want to start with the college application fee waivers and where you can go for that. Now, students who take an SAT or an SAT subject test are eligible for an SAT fee waiver in regards to taking the exam, but they're also eligible for unlimited college application fee waivers. What this means is that they can use their college fee waiver code, application code, I should say, and use it at any college. So if you wanted to know what colleges are participating in our college application fee waivers, there's a few ways you can do it. This one is pretty clear and efficient in regards to, it gives you a listing of the colleges. You can also look school by school, but I like this one because, for example, you can look and see which schools in Delaware are accepting students who have earned that college application fee waiver. And you can see, for example, all in regards to Delaware, majority, I believe all the colleges are accepting that college app fee waiver. So this really is a quick reference for you. And there's also, if you had questions about the college application fee waiver process, there's an FAQ right here as well that can help you navigate through the process. So as you're kicking off your college application process, this is a great resource for you. For many of you veterans, you may be familiar with it, or you may need a refresher. And for all you new counselors, we hope that you benefit from being able to use this as you're helping your students through the college application process.
Jacqueline, can I just interrupt for 1 second?
Yeah, sure.
I've heard from like 2 people that they can't hear. So I'm going to put the phone number in the chat. Oh, they can't hear me. They can't even hear me what I'm saying.
Can you maybe put the number, like chat in the number?
Yeah, I will. Sorry.
Thank you. Oh, no, you're good. Can everyone else hear? Is it technical or is it me? Can everyone else hear? Just doing a quick pulse check.
Yeah, we can hear you, Jacqueline.
Okay, thanks.
Most of us anyway, I think.
Okay. So I gave you like the we went and saw what the BigFuture website looks like, but it really is that step-by-step guide to college planning. All the resources on there you're going to find are free, and it's really based on educational values. There's like the NOSCA resources as well that I'm going to be showing you. So there's the lesson plans, everything, but it's really closing the gap between that inspiration and enrollment. We do have new features this year, and the fact that it's mobile-based as well for students when they're looking for the colleges. So it's more student-centric in that aspect as well. So when you go to BigFuture in the educational resources, there are some that are applicable for all students throughout their college grade levels. Others are more grade-centric. So one of the first ones that we have that's on there is that how to make a college plan. It's a step-by-step guide on how to really start that college planning. And then there's also how to build a college list. And again, another step-by-step resource for you to see. That financial aid checklist that starts from freshman year to senior year. The 5 ways to pay flyer. Now this one is a little older and outdated in some aspects when it talks about the value of community. The year references the 2008 election, but some of the messages in there are really transferable to current day as well. So although it's a little older, it still has some great talking points in it. But one of this, so now these are the ones again that I would recommend for all students. And I'm just going to go to the first one so you can just see it if you haven't been familiar with it yet. So this is how to make a college plan in 5 ways. And it really does use all the resources in BigFuture. So again, they're going to answer simple questions about what they're interested in and when they get a plan. And again, this is one of the things when we go back to here for students and getting started, like really building that plan. This is where they're going to start and answer questions. Know yourself. That's where the questions are. So when we look at this resource here, it's going to guide them through all the activities in this getting started for their knowing yourself and etc. So really just having them be able, again, navigate the process, you know, somewhat on their own. You have so many things going on. So this is just a way to help put, you know, some of the tasks onto the students, but also providing that support in regards to the lesson plans and so forth that I'm going to show you as well. So again, that's the 5 simple steps. I love that one. And the other one that I want to share right now is the financial checklist for students and parents. Because again, as I mentioned, and I'm just going to open this up a little bit so you can see it a little better. This is the freshman and sophomore year, knowing exactly what things, the 7 things you need to know about financial aid. So again, there's quick links to the references, college costs, getting an understanding of, you know, that what that sticker price you see is not the actual cost, and to get better acquainted with what the true process is. And again, with the net price as well. Every school now has that net price calculator as well. So for freshman and sophomore year, you have some activities. And then for junior year, really breaking down those details even more, those action steps. And then senior year. So you have this one document that's applicable for the student for the entire year. So that's one of my like go-to favorite resources in regards to really getting students into the financial aid process early on. Now, those resources were for all students. Now I want to talk a little bit about the resources for counselors. Here we have the 8 components of college and career readiness counselor. So this was, again, one of those resources from NOSCA that provides that systematic approach to preparing all students for success. There's a school counselor strategic planning tool as well. So that's like a quick reference sheet to align your counseling goals with school improvement plans if your building has them. And the next one is for those high school counselors, those 8 components. And I'm just going to highlight this one for you. And I wanted to show you really what, let me blow this up a little bit so you can see a little better. We did this between 2008 and 2018. It was a study, a job giving predictions with post-education. So then these resources provide really how you're going to look at the goals, building that college going culture. College aspirations is the goal number 1. And as you'll see when you go through, you'll see academic planning for college and career readiness, enrichment, extracurricular activities, engagement. And it gives different activities as well. And then college and career exploration and selection processes. Like really going through those components that have been identified and what to look for and how to support your students. So these are free resources that, again, as Karen mentioned, are in the BigFuture toolkit for educational resources that we want to make sure that everybody is aware is available. And then I want to talk a little bit about middle school resources. We have these College Board advisory sessions. Now, these are actually broken up from grades 6 through 12. So when you get the appendix, you're going to see the middle school resources. We put them all on one page for you. And I want to go to 6th grade and open it up. I won't go to every grade, but I want to just show you the goals that are in mind. So when we go here, when we look at these advisory sessions, I'm just going to highlight this. Okay. The sessions are aligned with 4 goals in mind to really help advisees reflect and monitor their academic progress through a formal conferencing structure, to develop and maintain relationships between and among advisees and advisor, to help advisees identify and develop the necessary attitudes, behaviors, and skills to succeed in school, college, and life. So it's not just about the college going process, but really about having your students succeed whatever path they take after their academic career. And then really to provide and advise the resources and information necessary to make thoughtful decisions about their future. So those, for every advisory session that you have, will have those 4 goals in mind. So as you go from grades 6 through 12, you can use these resources. And then again, when you look at how they're designed, this is the other thing I wanted to highlight on here. You're really gathering, like your short exercise for gathering. There's activities. So there's really, and then debriefing after the activity, and then closing and concluding and sending the group off with an advisory. So really, gathering information, having an activity, debriefing, and closing again. Just to reiterate, they are the 4 actions that are taken in these advisory sessions. And as you go through, there's lots of additional information. But I just wanted to, as we have a little bit of time here, share with you how they're structured and what the resources are for you in there. Now, when we get to grade 9, you're going to see, I talked about the college advisory session. There's also the college planning for 9th and 10th graders. So I just want to quickly go on here. This is a handout that you'll have. One side is 9th grade and the other is 10th grade on what steps students should be doing as they're planning their college pathway. So it'll tell them, again, create your 4-year high school plan. And again, when we think about that other research with in regards to building your college plan and so forth, this gives them more additional details that they can do. And so that you can provide this to your students in 9th grade. And then again, on the other side is 10th grade. But as we know, you probably have to share it again because they may not keep it, as we all know, for the following year. But this is one of the resources, again, that is in there for you. So now I want to hop to 10th grade here. So we have that advisory session. We talked about the college planning for 9th and 10th graders. Here I also want to talk about the college ed resource as well. So I'm going to go to the educator guide, and I'm going to have to actually do a PDF. One second. Okay, open up quickly, yay. And then we're going to go here. So some of you may remember when we launched College Ed, this was actually somewhat of a curriculum that we shared out with districts several years ago in regards to really creating that college going culture. All of this is now online for PDFs at no cost. So I just want to quickly go to, again, really what the educator guide looks like and the resources it provides you with. You also in here have a link you'll receive for the student guide as well. So you can pick and choose if you wanted to just do, like, for section here, unit 2, where am I going, a lesson plan, and then I'm going to go to it, see if we can see exactly how the lessons are structured. You're going to see that, the concepts engaged, and then students, they're going to further explore and master and come back. So there's actually, you can print this out, and then they can actually in the classroom do activities as well, or if you wanted to, have them go home. I'm not sure if you're structured, if you do have advisory sessions, this is a great component for that. So I wanted to just make sure everyone, it's been a while since we've actually highlighted College Ed, but the resources are in the link that you're going to get and also in the resource section as well. But once you open up the link, you'll see how it's mapped back if you wanted to go back to the BigFuture site. Now we get to the junior year and we have our college planning calendar for juniors. It's much more detailed than the 10th and 11th grade, but we see that you have the link here. We then also have the college application test list, and I want to open this one up. Here you're going to see and this is ideally for your juniors and seniors, so that's why it's mapped into the junior year, but really going through and planning what colleges they're looking for, making sure they have the deadlines, their grades, what they're looking for in regards to expectations. If they're going to do test scores, you're going to have that as well. You can see the recommendations. So it's just a quick way for students. Again, we understand you have so much going on, to help them manage the process from starting again in junior year and through their senior year. So that's one I wanted to make sure that you were aware of as well. Now I'm going to go back. And then for senior year, I just wanted to highlight quickly, and then we're going to go look at some college searches. This is the college planning for senior year. So if this is one that you're not familiar with, if you're new or you've had a change in your career path, this is a checklist for the seniors. So if you have current seniors, right now they're going to be completing the FAFSA and completing CSS profile if necessary. And then again, it's going to show the winter timeframe. And again, this all varies depending upon what college application deadlines for the college that they're applying to. But this, again, is a great resource for you to have to help navigate, well, for your students to have to help them navigate through the process. Okay. So I quickly highlighted the checklist that we had for the students in regards to every grade level from freshman to senior year. There is the college application checklist. Again, that is for primarily juniors and seniors. Those College Board Schools Advisory Session Guides, fabulous resource for you to have. And then also the college ed resources as well, that you could actually, there's great lesson plans in there to utilize if you do have those advisory sessions. But now I want to actually go to really finding the right college, like that college search process. So here we have, when you go now to searching collegesearch.collegeboard.org big home or /home, that's where you're going to find this. You can also just go to BigFuture and do finding the right college. But this is the home page. This is new, and this is the one that has actually been really mobile formatted as well, so students, when they can use it on either their iPads or their phones. So it's much more user friendly. So we're going to go to location. Okay. So here we have several options on how a student can start looking for their college. They can look by location, they can decide by major, if they want to do a 2 or 4 year smaller, and then the campus life as well. So there's different components that you can use to do your college search, start that process. So I'm going to start with location. And first I'm going to go by state. And so I'm going to pick Delaware. And we're going to look at the colleges that come up. So here, automatically, it's going to show all the colleges in Delaware. So you're going to get what type of college they are. So University of Delaware, we have the 4-year, public, large, and suburban, that 82% graduation rate, and the amount paid after 8. So that's what a standard package is. So it gives a student a better idea of what they can anticipate paying. And then if there are SAT ranges, they're applicable as well. So a student can look and say, looking at what I really want to do a small school. So maybe Golden Beacon would be better for me. They can add that to their list. That's one way you can do a college search by that entire state. You can also do one by distance. So say I want to go 50 miles. I don't want to go any further. I'm happy in this area. What colleges can I see? So now you can see you've actually expanded your pool because we're expanding outside of the state of Delaware. So there's 17 colleges that the student has the ability, they're going to explore. But now I'm like, okay, what do I want to major in? So, I'm not sure what I'm going to do. So let's just put in liberal arts. Okay, so now we find that reduced the list to 12 colleges. So we're narrowing down based upon what we're thinking our major will be, or if we're going to go into liberal arts. So then we're going to say, you know what? I really want to go to the 4-year, and I want to go to a public college. Let's see how many I have. So this narrows it down to 1. So then we think, well, maybe liberal arts, maybe we should expand it a little more. So let's go back to our major, and we're going to add computer science. So that expands it. Now we're into 3 colleges. So we have University of Delaware, Rowan University, and Delaware State. So that gives a student, okay, I have 3 colleges. Now, when they can talk about campus life and size. So say they want to go to a small university. That is not going to, it's going to totally, okay, so maybe we need to expand. Maybe we need to go, they can either expand their college search in regards to geographics, they can add majors, or maybe, they can think about going to a larger institution. So let's go to a medium. So again, that gives you 1 college found. So again, this is just one way to navigate for the student to get acclimated to the college going process and looking at the colleges that are available. So that is our college search feature. And we will have some additional changes coming as well in the upcoming months, and we'll share them to you as they become available. So the next thing I wanted to talk about is the college opportunity scholarships. We launched these scholarships 3 years ago, and I paused because the past 2 years with all the closures and so it's kind of been like in your mind, you have to think back. Okay, it's been 3 years since we launched the college opportunity scholarships. The idea behind the scholarships is that it provides students the opportunity to earn scholarships based upon their college going process. So a student now that is a senior, and I'm going to go down here, we have 6 steps. We have build your college list, practice the SAT, and explore scholarships. Those 3 steps are going to open up to your junior class in December. So for your class of 2023, they are going to start this process in December. Your current seniors right now are going through the following 3 steps: strengthen your college list. So that is really refining your list. When we build the college list in the junior year, it's 6 steps. It's the 6 colleges. When we practice for the SAT, that's going on to Khan Academy. This exploring scholarships, this provides your students an opportunity to explore scholarships outside of the opportunity scholarships. It's a function of BigFuture. So your juniors, again, are going to start those 3 steps come December. Your seniors right now are in the complete your FAFSA form. So that's where we're going to find your seniors right now. And any student that is, so the majority of students going on to college are completing the FAFSA. That's a step you're going to take regardless. And then applying to college, another step that we know students are going to go through. So really supporting your students right now in completing the FAFSA and applying to colleges, they can still join in through this apply now. So if they go to the opportunity scholarships and they haven't done so already and they're in the class of 2022, they can go in and complete those steps. So please, if there's one thing you can take away from today, please go back and encourage your students to do that. They have until the end of February to join and apply for the steps that are still open. If you have seniors that are currently in this opportunity scholarship and they have completed all 6 steps, they are eligible to win a $40,000 scholarship. The other scholarships are random, they're raffled off every month and they're $500. So you can see that here. But there is one final scholarship and it goes to 20 students nationally for $40,000. So again, we can provide more information if you're looking to encourage your students. There's lots of resources out there that you can share to promote the opportunity scholarships. but that is one that we wanted you to take away from today. Now here we're going to see the open, again, completing the FAFSA, the awareness of that. You have that banner right there. But I also want to highlight Wyatt. It's a free FAFSA assistant chat app that students can use if they opt into the scholarship. So here you're going to see how Wyatt works. So he'll reach out and he's like, if you look on the right-hand side of the screen, he's like, hey, I'm here if you need help. We noticed you didn't start yet. Student can ask, how do I start? It guides them through the process, engaging through text, because we know primarily most of the time where our students, they're on text. So this is a way that students can use Wyatt, the free chat box, to really engage and go have that additional support through the college going FAFSA process. So it did open up on October 1st, the same as FAFSA. Last year, we found that students who used the chat box, FAFSA, or Wyatt, I should say, 55% of those students completed FAFSA by the end of February, compared to 42% of student or high school norm. So really increased the completion by the end of February. So that's another one as we go through this process, if you could take away, and again, you're gonna have a link to this, and it also, again, toggles back and forth between the chatbot and the college opportunity scholarships. You can go back and forth between the sites. So it really just, it's really simplified to help provide support for the students, and then they can just join the program there. And then this you're gonna have as well in the deck. So we talked about the number, the 6 steps that you need to take. This gives you a breakdown of how many scholarships. Now this is for our class of 2022. We're gonna have a little shift in regards to our juniors going into the program in regards to the scholarships, the process to help simplify it. So we'll be coming back and sharing additional information with you throughout the year. And this is one of the things that we'll update as well. So now we'd like to really take a moment and really ask you to share in the chat box what topics you'd like to see in future sessions, and we'll also take your questions as well. And I'm just going to come up so I can see you now.
So when Jacqueline is talking about future sessions, in talking with, Diana, the College Board team, we thought this is hopefully informative for you, and just, putting it all in one place, just take a half an hour to see, these resources. So we would like to do, other sessions like this, and are asking you, what topics do you think would be helpful for you? What do you need, so that we could just try to make your lives a little bit easier? So that's what that question refers to. If there's, certain things that you would find helpful. And also now, so if you have a question and you want to ask a question, you can come off mute, feel free, or you can still put it in the chat. But
Karen, I'm just, I'm going through some of the stuff that's on BigFutures. Like I'm looking at these advisory sessions. I just need some time to go through them. I might have some ideas that I want after that, but just seeing this stuff is pretty amazing.
Awesome. So email me if you think, if you have other ideas. That's perfectly fine. If you want some time to think about it, of course. Does anyone have questions on what you saw?
So I did want to jump in, Karen, and we did have a question in the chat, and I don't think everyone could see it, but I wanted to circle back around the college application fee waivers and SAT fee waivers. So all of you should have access to the K-12 assessment reporting tool, and that is where you can find the fee waiver codes for your students who are eligible. Many of your students don't need that fee waiver code to take the SAT because they take it at school in March. If they want to take it again, certainly they can use that fee waiver in order to do so. But in order to access fee waiver, the college application fee waivers and the other benefits that come along with that, you'd still need to give them a fee waiver code, and they will log into their College Board account like they are registering to take an SAT, and they can choose to add that code to their account, but not take the SAT again. They don't need to register for the SAT again in order to gain access. So if you have questions, please let us know. But that's sort of the way the process works. So it looks like they're registering for an SAT, but then they don't actually have to register if they're not going to take it again.
I
Can I just ask a quick question about the fee waivers? Do those waiver numbers change from year to year? Like, our waiver numbers from last year are, we can't use those, and then we have to use the numbers for this year?
No,
So the fee waiver codes don't expire any longer. Years
Okay.
ago, they expired.
I
The
thought,
one
okay.
thing to be sure of is that you don't give the same code to two
Yeah.
different students.
No, you can,
But if
I've
you
cre-
have leftovers, you can
Yeah.
use those.
you can create an Excel sheet very easily, and then I just pass it out to all the counselors, and we shared it, so we know who, we just put the student's name in there, so we're not doubling up, but okay.
Perfect. Yep. So you can use last year's this year and then jump into this year's once
Okay.
those are exhausted.
Perfect, thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other questions? Anything else you need at the moment that I might actually be able to answer or help with? Diana, Jacqueline, anything else from you guys?
no, I just want to thank you all again for your time. And again, we did provide a lot of resources for you now. So as you go through them, please reach out to us with any feedback. As we go through the calendar year and we do additional sessions, we are really looking to hear from you what is the best pieces of information to help you with your work.
Yep. And again, great to see all of you. Jacqueline has been supporting districts in Delaware for a couple of years. Of course, it's been a little bit crazy, but please reach out to Karen if you have questions. You know how to reach, the majority of you know how to reach Jacqueline and myself. We're here to support, and we will continue to provide resources where you need them most. So don't hesitate to ask the questions. I love some of the suggestions that were coming in to the chat. But always share with us what you need so we can make sure to support you as you're supporting your students and families.
And then this recording will be posted on the Delaware Student Success website. There's a tab at the top that's educator resources, and there's a line there that says recorded webinars. So if others on your team weren't able to join or you want to rehear something again, it takes us a couple days to get that posted, but it will be up there shortly, and I'll let you know, and I'll send out the slide deck. All right, so I know everyone's busy. Thank you so much for taking the time today. Always reach out to me if you need something. Happy to help. I'm here to support your work. So thank you, everyone. Have a great day.
Can I ask a question?